Position now. Building value. Yeah, this looks better after all. Vertical is the way to go. Building value. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Nah, it's Thursday. Thursday, I'm off to teaching a class. This is my one of my cyber classes again. This is CYA 230. I teach at the local community college. And my whole reason for going on live is to kind of talk to everybody, build value, have morning conversations. And that's what we're trying to get into right now. Let me try to get rid of some of this glare. I think this will make less glare if I do this. All right, that's better. So I just want to get on to really talk about building value. What are the things that we can do to build value? You often think about, how can you put yourself in the best position, whether it be from a business entrepreneurial perspective, from as an employee, as a spouse, as a parent. We go with these bumps. Goodness gracious. Every time this thing shake, I think about Linda's son. So when I think about, how do we establish value? One way to establish value is always showing up. And how you show up. But one is showing up, being consistent, showing up. I'm learning over time that if you show up and you be consistent, there may be a reward for showing up. What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I had to redo it. The vertical view was just not enough. All right. So, and this is I'm looking at the color. It looks better. Showing up. One, being consistent and showing up. Showing up with an expectation. I'll say that's two. But when I say expectation, not an expectation to get all the time, but in some cases, an expectation to give. What are you coming up with to give? What's your intentionality in showing up? Are you showing up to help? Are you showing up to be a blessing? Because sometimes the way you show up will produce a reward. And after showing up, what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming in. Hi, Mary. How you doing? Nice to meet you. It's hard to see, boy. They got to make this big. Maybe I need glasses. But like I said, showing up is one way to build value. Two, said my name is Emma. Okay. Nice to meet you, Emma. What's up? What's up, everybody? We're talking about how you build value. You say you're from India. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So I'm talking about ways, like this is a conversation here because I'm really talking about ways you can build value. And at the same time, I'm hearing from you and you can tell me ways that you build value as well. I'm doing great today. It's a bright, sunshiny day. It's been the song. It has been raining for like 2 weeks. So we finally get a day of sunshine. Makes me think of sunshine is the biggest day of the daytime. Ghostface. Me, I'm from Maryland. Where you from? So I was talking about, everybody hit the like button. So value, how do we build value? We can build value by one, showing up and being consistent. Two, we can also build value by ensuring that when we show up, there's intentionality in showing up. You say, Nate, she's well. What are you going to give? What are you bringing to the table? You don't want to bring something to the table. You got to make sure that you're bringing something sometimes. And that's like investing and investments. You always want to bring something of value to exchange something in value, a bartering system. And the person that has the greatest value is the one that typically wins in the end. So with this social media thing, how much value are we bringing to people, the audience that's watching? Man, it shakes bad. How much value are we bringing to our audience? What skills do we have? Damon John said something that was really great right at the beginning of the pandemic. He said that this is the time for people to level up their skills. When the pandemic first happened, he said this is the time to level up your skills. Some people took advantage of it and some people didn't. Some people got new skills. Some people said this is the time I want to start my business. Everybody's in, and they saw an increase. Remember, if anybody was on social media and you had the working out with Joe, she did like fitness exercising. She was from Canada. My wife and my children used to watch them a lot. And her channel blew up because she was providing a service for people in a period of time or in a climate where people were shut in and they didn't know what to do. They needed to understand, how to relax in their environment. And one of the ways to relaxing is to work out, or to relax is to work out. You get yourself kind of worked up, you sweat, you focused on something. Next thing you know, boom, the stress is gone. So, because we as beings, we transfer energy, and sometimes we have to transfer that energy in different ways. You know what I mean? But building value, we have to offer something of value. You got to build a skill set and then offer that value for a price. But more importantly, I'm learning that you have to know your value, because if you don't know your value, you won't ever charge yourself the right price, or you won't charge the correct value for what you're offering. And sometimes you have to study other people to learn your value system. Like if I want to be a photographer or a videographer, I need to look at other photographers and other videographers and see the work that they do and see how they charge for their services. Some people charge for the time, they charge for the use of equipment. I learned that. They charge for the use of the equipment. They charge for the travel that it took them to get to a particular destination. Also, they will pay for the time that it takes them to work on that project. And then they charge for the skill set. Like when you take your car to the mechanic, you don't just charge. You're not just paying for your car to be fixed. You're paying for the parts. You're paying for labor, the time in which it's going to take that individual to work on your car. It's because that mechanic has built up a skill, and that skill is now valuable. So what do we have to do to build a value? Can y'all tell me some things y'all do to build value? And do y'all charge and exchange your value? Do you barter your value that you built up for something else? I'm learning that in this music space that I'm working, even in tech, but I'm going to talk about music first. In music, you can't just be sitting in front of somebody making music. At some point, you're going to have to entertain. You're going to have to DJ. You're going to have to learn how to rap. You got to diversify. I was speaking to a pastor one time, and he was saying, when you get people and you get their attention, you have to take them somewhere. You have to take them somewhere. You can't just leave them where they're at. This online platform won't be enough. After you've got them here and you got their attention, you have to offer them something and take them somewhere else. Kind of makes me think of Myron Golden when he does the monthly offers. Like, what do you have to offer? And he teaches you your offer system. But if you don't understand your value, you won't know what to offer and what price to charge for your offer. And you're speaking to a person who will always lowball himself and not charge the right price. Like my good guy Khalif Wins always says, that what you need to do is, I'm sorry, my cyber brain's kicking in. I'm never going to tell. That's fine. Thank you so much for coming on. I truly appreciate it. You have a great one. Um, my friend Khalif, he's always telling me that I need to make an ebook. I need to make a cyber ebook. I need to make a music ebook. And he said, and charge a price, charge the right price. And I'll be like, low prices. He'd be like, stop low balling yourself. You have a skill set. Back to, I said this before. If you know about Dr. Miles Monroe, great evangelist, wise evangelist. He said, I never charge, I never sell my stuff for free. Never. And he said, I don't sell it for free because if I do that, it cheapens the value of the product. He says, so I don't want to cheapen my value. So I'm not going to offer it for free. So with that, he had books, Wise Intelligence. It's like if you really want to get to the knowledge, you got to do some work. I've noticed in teaching cyber, people don't want to read. They want you to show them everything. And I do believe that you need to be mentored and shown some things. Like sometimes in order to take the computer apart or put it back together, you need to visually see it. How is it done? You just can't explain certain things. Sometimes you need to see it. But there are going to be environments where you're going to have to get the knowledge for yourself by hook or by crook. What do I mean by that? You're going to have to go to one of the largest search engines. The modern dictionary today is Google and YouTube. And you're going to have to go there and continue to search. You got to give them something. And you got to go search for it. The Bible says that we are to ask, seek, and knock. Matthew 7:7. Ask, seek, and knock. This is just like, is it Brown, Tony Brown? Les Brown. Les Brown always said, he said, ask, seek, and knock. That's his favorite scripture. Ask, seek, and knock. I'll also say, leave no stone unturned. That means you have to search and search and search. And so if you understand this, I'm coming from the perspective of that seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and everything else should be added upon you. How can you take the scriptures and apply it to real life? You apply it in your relationships, you apply it in your jobs, you apply it in everything. You can also seek value by taking on the attributes of something that is valuable. And that's what we do as believers in the faith in Christ. We go after something that's extremely valuable, the creator of everything. And in believing that that is so valuable, you want to take on the attributes of that which is so valuable. Famous painters watch and mimic others, and then they make their paintings, and then after a while, they begin to develop into something else. Whenever you talk about God, you lose people. Whenever you embrace your purpose, you're going to lose somebody. Know that. Whenever you start to bring on or start to acknowledge how valuable you are, people are going to drop off. But you're also going to attract a whole different group of people. I'm in a space now where I'm trying to remain, there's no low vibration thoughts. We get down, but no low vibrations, all high vibrations. You speak power over yourself. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. I don't know why I'm going this way, but there's life and death in the power of the tongue. So you have to speak things as though they are. And this is totality. This is not just like a conversion or anything like that. I'm talking about the totality of life. You have to speak positive. You ever seen a study where they took the two flowers and they spoke negative words over one flower and they spoke positive words over another flower, and the one that they spoke positive words to began to flourish and grow, and then the one that they spoke negative to began to be evil. Dark. The color it grew dark. They also had a petri dish of cells. They spoke positive over one group of cells, and they spoke negative over one group of cells, and the cells in the petri dish that they spoke negative to begin to decay and begin to turn black. So what I'm trying to say is you got to speak over this. Do you know you can regenerate your cells by speaking power over your life? by speaking power over yourself. You know what I used to tell myself when I was young? I was like, I'm going to be the next Dr. Dre. I was like, I'm going to produce like Eric Sermon. I'm going to do this. I'm talking about from a music perspective. I got 10% battery left. All right, it'll be all right. I think, yeah, I got my charger with me. I used to speak over myself. I'm going to play like Stevie Wonder. But then it's not just the speaking, it's the doing, it's the moving. People don't understand prayer is just something to get you in a position to move. One of my favorite scriptures is when David came upon the scene and he saw that everything had been taken and the men wanted to destroy him, and he heard them talking. He overheard them. He didn't run to the priest. He didn't run to the priest and just said, oh, can you pray for me? He did it for himself. He grabbed the cloak, the ephod, he went down and he prayed for himself, and he had a conversation with God. And you know what he said? He said, shall I pursue? And then God said, recover, recover, recover and take all. Go and take all. Go and take all. Of course, you know, I'm paraphrasing. So first you got to speak it. Once you speak it, then you got to go do it. You have to pursue. You know, I normally don't put this out there, but my goal is to make $50,000 a month. My goal is to make $50,000 a month. So what do I have to do now that I put that in the atmosphere? If I want to make $50,000 a month, I now have to go out and I either have to create a service or a product and create value around what I'm doing to make that $50,000 a month. I have to evaluate, analyze, be analytical. And then I have to try to recreate and synthesize work that's going to allow me to be in a position where I will make $50,000 a month. That is my goal. And I'm speaking it. And I figured that my goal will be birthed by helping other individuals. It's going to be birthed by pushing other people in the right direction. It's going to be birthed by assisting others. I'm going to do the things that some people don't want to do. That's just the charge I've been given. I got to get out of this bumpy part of the road. We're going to fix this camera holder one day. These are the streets of Baltimore. But these are some of the good streets. Come on, bus. You're not moving me out of the way. So, what am I trying to say? And thank all of you for coming and listening to me. So sometimes I didn't do these because I was like, what do I have to offer? What do I have to offer people? Then I just gained the confidence that I'm just going to talk until it makes sense. I'm just going to say something and it's going to prick the right person. So you know what this is like when you're watching TV and all of a sudden you hear something, you raise up and you're like, oh, that was for me. Or you're in a grocery store and then you look over and you hear somebody say something, you're like, oh, shucks, that was for me. You know, or you're having a conversation with someone and they say something, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, that was for me. This is for somebody. Don't stay stuck. Don't think that you don't have anything to offer. You have something to offer. That's how you first build value. You have to first build value by planting the seed of hope and faith, planting that seed to believe that you are something of value. And if you are something of value, that you possess value, that you're connected to value. When you believe that you're connected to value and that you have value inside you, you will then say that you have something to offer. It's hard to hold on to it when you think you got something to offer or something to give. We about to hit a bump. When you think you have something to give and something to offer, or God has placed something in you to offer other individuals, you can't help it. It's going to come out. Like, I can't hold this. I had no intentions of talking like this. But I feel like we got to build value. So show up, be consistent, offer something, not just with the intention of receiving something, but giving something. Show up with a skill or something of value. Believe in yourself to believe that you're something of value, or connect or align yourself with something of value so that you'll have value to offer. And now we got to learn how to start offering a value proposition. How do I propose or give this value? How can I say, for this piece of value that I have, this is the price that you can have for this value? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's an email, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a hello. This is what we're going to offer. Well, I'm almost at work, and I think it's done. And I want to say thank you all for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. I hope you have a good morning and a great day. And thank you once again for coming to the channel. Look at everybody talking. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Peace.